Hello, everyone. What is going on? It's Monday. Oh, no. Oh, no. It's Monday. Wah! What's up, everybody? Welcome to my gameplay stream. First of two gameplay streams for today, a brand new streaming week. I hope you guys are ready for what's in store. 3 straight days of full-time streaming before my day off for the week coming up this Thursday, actually. And it should be a fun and interesting week, to say the least. Hope you guys are excited for it. Today is Monday the 9th of September 2019. Hello, everyone. How you doing? I hope I find you well. So here's the deal. We're going to have a lot of fun the next 3 days. We're going to do a big variety of stuff. It's not just going to be gears like I've been doing the last 2 days. We're going to actually mix it up and do some good variety so that way people don't get tired of gears, okay? We're going to be doing some chill streaming fun. We're going to be doing some more serious stuff. We got some playthroughs that may or may not be ending, which would be good if they did wrap up, but if they don't, that's fine. It's no rush to get these playthroughs done at this point. In reality, September does have some big high-profile releases, but at the same time, it's not, like, insanely overloaded with high-profile releases, which I guess to some extent is a good thing because it gives us time to focus in on the things we want to focus on and not have to try to rush through them. Some years, when we get to this fall gaming season, this autumn hardcore gaming season, right, we get so many releases coming out in a short period of time that it's, like, impossible to play them all. You have to juggle certain ones, and you end up being kind of disappointed that it takes 3-4 weeks to beat a game that you normally would have beaten in like 2 days. But in this case, we're really not in that situation. And it looks like I said, some playthroughs may be concluding within the next 1 to 2 sessions, which will give more time to cover the new games that are coming out, okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, hope you guys are excited. Let's talk about what you guys can expect for the next few days. We'll talk about a few ongoing events, and then we'll get into the usual swing of things with the pre-stream. All right, so today I'm going to be doing Grand Theft Auto 4. That's right, a playthrough that I've been playing over the course of the summer. I actually started around the middle of August, and as you know, GTA games are quite long and lengthy. I was playing it at one point about twice a week, so around 8 hours a week. And at this point, I believe we're almost hitting the 30-hour mark, I want to say. Because the game is so lengthy with not only the story-based missions, but I took some time to do some hanging out with friends and the like as well during the playthrough. So, we're going to be continuing on today, and quite frankly, today we may beat the game. I'm not exactly sure how much is left, but I know for a fact we're heading into the very end game story arcs. In fact, I know today we're going to have some pretty serious, heavy shit going on in the story. So for those of you who've never played or seen GTA 4 before, all 2 of you out there, there may be some pretty shocking stuff happening on stream today in GTA 4, okay? I don't know if I'm going to beat it. I guess it's going to depend on a couple factors. First of all, how I do. If I cruise through and don't have any problems with the missions today, then maybe I'll beat it today. If we have some difficulty, because some of the endgame missions can be some of the tougher ones in the game, then maybe I won't beat it today. And no pressure, I don't have to beat it today or anything like that. But, just saying that it's a possibility, which means we'll be able to focus in on other stuff if I do, okay? So that's going to be my first gameplay stream of 4 hours today, GTA 4. Continuing on. Later tonight, it's Gears of War 5 multiplayer. And this is going to be different than my first session of multiplayer that I did Saturday night. Reason being, I'm going to be checking out the modes I haven't played yet. So there's a new mode in Gears 5 that's called Escape. I don't even know what it is. Apparently it's a brand new game mode designed, for multiplayer. And we're going to check that out. And then we're going to check out Horde mode, which of course is a classic mode that's been in Gears for quite a long time. People really like Horde mode co-op. It's a lot of fun. Sadly, I don't have a microphone for Xbox One, so I can't use voice communication. Unless I get the really shitty mic. Like, I have a really shitty mic that came with the Xbox One that I could plug in, but then it screws up the audio feed for my capturing. So more than likely, I'm not going to be communicating via voice. It's just going to be me trying to flub through horde mode, okay, with random co-op partners. So I'm going to be checking that out tonight. That should be fun. And yes, tonight will be a stream where Jasper, if he wants to join us, he can come into the office. I don't know if he's going to care about me playing Gears of War or not. But it's kind of funny. I said this last night on my Minecraft stream. I have been playing my Xbox One a lot lately. Like, if you actually think about all the games I've been playing recently. So, GTA 4 I've been playing since the middle of August. That's been an ongoing playthrough. I've been using the Xbox One. I just played Blair Witch. Right? So that's a playthrough I did a full playthrough of on the Xbox One. Playing Gears 5, right? Which is a lot of gameplay on the Xbox One, and then also Minecraft. So for the first time, I think in years, I've actually been using my Xbox One a significant amount. And to say, it's been pretty fun. The Xbox One is a pretty good console. The only complaint I have is my controller still doesn't sync. I've owned this thing since launch, and the controller still doesn't sync. So you might be saying, what do you mean? When I turn on my controller, half the time it just blinks endlessly and never turns on the Xbox. And then I have to directly plug the controller in via USB to get the Xbox to turn on. And if I don't let it stay plugged in for like 10-15 minutes, the controller desyncs again. It's been an issue ever since the launch of the Xbox One. And by the way, it happened with both of my Xbox One controllers because I have the one that came with the console and then I have an extra one I bought. They both do it. But outside of that, I really have no complaints about the Xbox One. The console's pretty solid. And like I said, I'm actually happy I've been getting some use out of it. It gives my PS4 Pro a little bit of a break. But after this, pretty much the PS4 Pro is going to ended up being used for almost everything for the rest of the year. When you take a look at all the games coming out soon, if I play Borderlands 3, right, that'll be on there. Code Vein's definitely going to be on there. The Ghostbusters remake, I'm going to be playing on there. WWE, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, The Outer Worlds, the Medieval remake. And that's just October, and there's plenty more coming out in, November, December. Also, I'm going to be playing my Switch a bit. There's the Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening coming up. And then there's Luigi's Mansion 3. So I'll actually be playing a little bit of stuff on the Switch this year, too. So, some good variety. It's actually pretty good. A good mix of stuff coming out by the end of the year. I like that. Okay. So anyway, that's today's streams. It's going to be Grand Theft Auto 4 on the first stream. And then Gears 5 multiplayer, trying out the Escape and Horde modes on the late stream. Okay? Tomorrow, I'm on the fence about what I should play, but it doesn't really matter because no matter what I play, I'm playing what I don't play on Wednesday. So, for example, tomorrow, for my main gameplay stream, I may say, man, I'm craving more Gears. The Gears campaign's been doing good. Let's do more Gears. So maybe I'll do Gears of War 5 as my main gameplay stream. Or maybe I'll say, man, Control, I liked the game, and it's kind of lingering now. It's a playthrough that's kind of only been played like once a week now because I've been doing other new games. Let's try to get some Control in. So maybe I'll do a major stream of Control tomorrow. And it may be the last one because I don't know how much is left in the game, but people are telling me I am getting near the end of the game now, so maybe I'll even beat it, right? So I'm not sure. But whatever I play tomorrow, great. And then when I don't play, I'll be playing as the main stream on Wednesday, okay? Tomorrow night, Tuesday night, I'll be doing a throwback Street Fighter stream where I'll be attempting to play classic Street Fighter. I don't know how well it's going to go. It all depends on how many opponents I can find or whatever. But I've been enjoying the throwback Street Fighter stuff, so we'll try to play some more old school Street Fighter tomorrow night in the Anniversary Collection. And then Wednesday night, it's totally up in the air, because I have many options of things that I can do Wednesday night, okay? So just a few options of things that I could play as my final stream before my day off this week. I could do Black Ops 4 Blackout. And, it's the final countdown for Battle Royale, quite honestly. Right now I have 4, 5, 6 weeks left between now and the release of Modern Warfare. And by the way, the beta for Modern Warfare is coming out hopefully in the next week. So, essentially we're in the very final stages of playing Battle Royale in Black Ops 4. And so I'm thinking maybe it makes sense to do that because we're kind of giving it a send-off, right? At the same time, I haven't played Dragon Quest Builders 2 in several weeks, and that's a playthrough that I played, over the course of July and August, and I really like the game. And by the way, I should say this, I'm not quitting the game. Some people were like, oh man, Phil hasn't played it in weeks, I guess it's over. No, it's not. It's just that was the playthrough that very much was during a time period when, there were no new releases out, and it was a way to have variety in my content, so that I wasn't just constantly playing the same one or two games. But obviously, when there's other new releases out, they're going to take priority, okay? So Dragon Quest Builders 2 is continuing, and I'm thinking I may have to, at this point, make it like a late night stream, only because I don't see how else I'm going to have time to really play it, because I don't really have any real daytime stream openings for it right now. So maybe I'll do that Wednesday night. I'm not sure. I might just ask you guys or see what people are feeling like once we get to Wednesday, okay? Thursday I'm off. Thursday's my day off from streaming this week. I'm back on Friday, and quite frankly, I don't know what I'm playing on Friday, because it really depends on how the rest of this week goes, the 3 more days this week that I'm streaming. As you guys know, I've been telling you, financially, I'm in a really bad position. I'm still in the red when it comes to my bank account, which means even with all the money that I've raised this week, I'm still haven't raised enough to get myself back to the black, and I've got, I believe it's 3 bills, I want to say, that are going to be attempting to clear in the next few days. I don't get paid by Twitch until the 15th. So, with 6 days to go before potentially I see any money from Twitch, very, very hairy position. And sadly, I would love to say, oh yeah, let's play Borderlands 3 this Friday. I can't even really afford it. It's going to be dependent on, number one, how many contributions come in during the week, and number two, if someone maybe gifts some PlayStation Network credit, so I can just get the game that way via my Amazon wish list. But yeah, if neither of those things come together, then I guess I'm not playing Borderlands 3 starting this Friday. Okay? It sucks. I don't like being in this position as a content creator, but the truth of the matter is I have more than enough other stuff to do. It's not like I don't have games to play. I have tons of stuff that I can potentially play until I get back on my feet here. But it's, that's just life. That's the reality kind of right now. With everything going on in my life, is that I'm kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place, and if I don't have the funds to buy the new game, I can't buy the new game, right? So I guess we'll see what happens. On Friday, I may be starting up Borderlands 3, or we may just be continuing on with the current playthroughs that I'm doing. I guess we'll see. All right, everybody. So that's the rough schedule for the week. Good variety of stuff, and hopefully things go well and you guys enjoy the streams. Did I hear the cops? Yeah, I heard a police siren far away, though. Yeah, I heard it outside. Yeah, so that's another thing I should say. Welcome to fall weather, everyone, because right here in Washington State, it's now autumn. Well, it's not yet. It's another week or two, but we're now in autumn weather, meaning the weather here is cooled down dramatically. It's no longer in the 80s. It's actually in the 60s most of the day, and sometimes the 70s, but it's in the 60s right now. It's cloudy. It's very much autumn weather, which means I uninstalled my air conditioner. The window is wide open. I got my fan in my window. The office is cool. It's nice, fresh air all day. It really feels great. This, in all reality, as much as I like, the summer downtime that we have where we can do certain playthroughs, I love the fall because this is when the cool weather comes out and it's comfortable to stream in my office. And there's all these new releases and fun things that we do. So this is my favorite time of year for gaming and gameplay streaming, because of the weather and the games, okay? So pretty good stuff, all right? All right, so anyway, a few things to cover before we move on. First of all, a reminder, guys, please head over to the kingofhate.com forums. That's my website. On the forums right now in the general section, please nominate your favorite moments of my 11 years as a content creator for the upcoming retrospective marathon event. That event will be taking place by the end of this month, okay? When exactly, I don't know yet. I haven't set it in stone, but it is definitely going to be happening by the end of this month. A marathon event where we go back and we reminisce about the past, looking at all the stuff that I've done over the years, including game playthroughs, game reviews, vlogging, ongoing series that I did for a while, edited content, everything that is eligible. The rules are posted up there on the forums. And this time around as well, rather than it just be you guys nominating, I'm going to pick some of my personal favorite game playthroughs that I know will be entertaining for us to watch back together. A good variety of stuff from over time that I think you guys will enjoy, okay? So, it's going to be a fun event, but it's better if you guys nominate more stuff. The more nominations for stuff to watch during this event, the better. So please head over to the kingofhate.com forums and please nominate your favorite moments, all right? Now also, already this month we hit the subscriber goal for my Twitch channel, which means we are doing a Halloween horror gaming event on Halloween this year. I'll be dressing up in costume as usual. We'll be playing a series of horror-themed video games that are going to be a ton of fun. I'm really excited. I love doing the Halloween event. That being said, you're going to be able to nominate and vote on horror-themed games, and you're going to be able to vote on the type of costume that I will wear during this event. Now, you can't do it yet, just to forewarn everyone. What we're going to do is we're going to get all the things settled for this upcoming retrospective event first. Once that's figured out, then we're going to move forward with the Halloween stuff. So let's give it about another few days, another week or so for people to nominate their moments for the retrospective event. Once all that's figured out, then I'm going to be posting up the threads where you can nominate games and you can vote on category of costume. Plus, truth of the matter is, the Halloween stores in my area are not opened yet. A lot of them are setting up, but they're not opened yet. Once they're opened, Kat and I are going to visit them and we're going to see what kind of costumes are available this year to get ideas of categories that we can list as things for you guys to vote on. Because essentially that's what we did last year. We went around and we saw, oh, here's some cool video game character costumes. Here's some cool pop culture, celebrity costumes. Here's some cool classic horror movie monsters. All right, let's make these categories because we see these costumes we could potentially buy based on what people vote for. So that's kind of how we're approaching it this year. Let's see what we can find. All right, so that's all coming up. That's all coming up. And, I'll let you know when that stuff is available. But FYI, I like to get hyped for that. I really like horror games. I really like getting excited for Halloween. In fact, as you guys know, I'll be decorating the office. For all of October, the office will be decorated like Halloween stuff. I do that every year for streaming, and you guys seem to really enjoy it. I get into a festive mood for it. So yeah, it's coming up in the month of October. Dress up as a hobo? I do that every day. I don't need to dress up for that. Alrighty. Anyway, let's continue. Okay, outside of all that, I'm just trying to think if there's any other odds and ends before we move on to the next segment of the pre-stream. I think I've covered the major stuff. I guess the other thing I'd like to say is next week should be pretty hype, because next week, not only is the release of the Genesis Mini, it's on what day is it that it comes out? The 19th? Right? Is it the 19th? So actually it's not next week. It's the week after. No, it's not. It is next week because today's Monday. So it's it's Thursday of next week. That's right. So next week is the release of the Genesis Mini. Yes, I will be covering the Genesis Mini thanks to a generous fan who donated one to me. Pre-ordered it for me and everything, which is really awesome. And it's going to be super fun to cover this thing, I think. Because not only are we going to do a live unboxing when it shows up, but I'm going to be hooking it up and checking out the games that are initially on it. And then for that week that the Genesis Mini launches, we're going to be checking out a lot of those games. Am I going to be doing a ton of full playthroughs? Probably not. But at least getting a taste for a bunch of the games that are in it. And then maybe I will do full playthroughs of certain games, depending on how much you guys like them. So I'm excited for the Genesis Mini coming out next week. Okay? Fair enough? Alrighty then. Alright, let's move on to the next segment of the pre-stream, everyone. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for 11 awesome years that I've been a content creator. It is through your generosity and crowdfunding, now that I am a full-time live streamer, that I am allowed to keep doing this and, put out awesome streams 6 days a week, full-time. And also the fact that I'm able to put up videos on YouTube every day as an archive of my streams and all of that, It's because of your crowdfunding efforts that I'm still allowed to keep doing what I love. And there are many ways that you guys can contribute to help out, including checking out my Patreon at patreon.com/darksidephil. I also have a Teespring store where you can buy merch, primarily t-shirts. That's teespring.com/stores/DSPGaming. But really, if you guys want to contribute and get interaction during the streams, if you cheer with bits or subscribe to the channel or tip me, all right, any of those things, you're going to get a shout out during the stream, okay? Now, a few things, there's a lot of stuff to talk about in this regard. First of all, it's September here on Twitch, meaning for the next 2 weeks or so, if you do a new subscription to someone's channel on Twitch, it's half price. So if you've never been subscribed to my channel before and you choose to subscribe the next couple of weeks, it's only half price. If you were gifted a sub last month and that sub has expired and you want to extend it, it should only be half price. So a lot of cool advantages there. In addition, if you have chosen to cheer for any content creator on Twitch, if you use the Subway cheer mode, you will give 10% bonus bits to that streamer. So it's pretty awesome because it's a way for you to give even more to the streamer, and it doesn't cost you anything. So please, if you're going to cheer with bits today, please use the Subway cheer mode. It helps out a lot, you know. Now, one thing I will say before we get to the stream rules and all of that, please understand that contributions are much appreciated. Contributions absolutely keep stuff going around here, and it's the reason why I can continue to stream full time. However, please understand that contributions are not mandatory. It is not expected that anyone will come and do any kind of a contribution on my streams. I absolutely love what I do for a living, for sure. But this is my hobby as well as my job. I used to do this for 2.5 years before I ever made a penny doing it, and I would still be doing it even if I didn't make money. I just love gaming. I love sharing gaming experiences with you guys every single day. I love the interaction we have on the streams. I love it all. And, you know, that's why I absolutely love my job. Ever since I became an interactive streamer, this is way better than when I used to do the offline videos for YouTube, seriously. So that being said, understand, if you can come to the stream but you can't contribute, that's fine. I'm perfectly happy just hanging out with you guys on a daily basis. But for those who can go above and beyond and can be supportive, thank you so much, because you are the people keeping this running. And I am super appreciative that you care about me and my content so much that you do that, okay? Now, moving on, as you guys can see, there's a Stream Stats leaderboard at the top of the screen, where the person who is the current top contributor via cheering, as well as the top tipper of the day, will get extra recognition. There is also a cheering leaderboard that is integrated at the top of all of your streams. This has reset overnight. This cheering leaderboard always resets overnight on Sunday, and so it's a great opportunity if you want to get into the top 10 cheerers of the week. Now is the time to cheer, because it is really easy to become one of the top 10 cheerers since the whole thing reset overnight, okay? In regards to shoutouts, how do they work? Well, if you cheer, sub, or tip, I'm going to give you a verbal shoutout during my streams with some criteria and some rules as follows. First of all, I have to abide by all Twitch terms of service, meaning I can't just say or do absolutely everything that I want. It is what it is. When you work with a service, you have to abide by the rules, right? It's just pretty much common sense. Number two, please understand that I try to maintain a certain chill vibe around my streams, a certain way of doing things, so that when people come here to hang out with me, they feel like they can have fun, they can have a drama-free environment. They can just chill and see my honest reactions to games and have some interaction with me and other people in the stream chat without having any kind of risk of harassment, any kinds of toxicity, or negative shit. That being said, there's certain topics that we usually don't delve into, including politics and religion, because I feel that they are too argumentative and that people tend to get too angry at each other when discussing them. If a game leans towards politics or religion, then maybe every once in a while I will discuss them, but it's very rare. Number two, we don't insult each other. We don't insult others. You know, we don't take insults. We don't give insults unless someone insults me first. You know, that's different. But no, we're not going to be all about people coming in and, you know, attacking each other. You don't have to worry about being in the stream chat. You're going to get attacked by others. That's not allowed, okay? In addition to that, we don't bring up negativity and drama. So if there's someone out there who is ripping off my content, or there's someone out there who's insulted me, and there's someone streaming something negative about me and laughing at me, ha ha ha, I don't care. I don't give a shit. And no one else should either. We're here to have fun and put out a positive stream. Why do we care about what the negative, toxic shit people are doing on their own crap? Let them do it on their own crap, because they don't know how to have a good time, right? So if they want to revel in their negativity, let them. You know, and keep that crap off of our stream here, right? So in general, those are the rules I follow. Please understand, I have no obligation whatsoever to respond to anything. Just because someone contributed in some way, you know, there's absolutely no reason that I have to respond to it, especially if it's someone who's obviously trying to derail the stream or be negative or bring in drama. I'm not going to be addressing that kind of stuff. Okay, guys? Please understand I'm incredibly appreciative of any contributions that you guys give during the streams, and that's why I do the shout-outs. And you know, in general, most people get it, and the streams end up being really fun. All right? So really the only other thing I want to say on this subject, ladies and gentlemen, this is me being very honest with all of you. All right? The truth of the matter is right now I'm in an incredibly bad financial position. For a couple of months I was in a better position, and sadly, you know, I couldn't maintain it. Now I'm back to the point where I'm overdrawn on my bank account pretty badly. You guys have helped out tremendously the last few days with tips to help with that. And it is in a much better position, but I'm still not back to the black, as they say. I'm still in the red. And I don't get paid by Twitch for another 6 days minimum. So this is bad. All right? Like I said, I don't even think I can afford Borderlands 3 because of this. So if you want to help out the most, all right, the best way that you can support right now would be to tip me. If you tip me during today's stream, these are funds that I will put directly into my bank account to try to get it back into the black so that I'm not in the situation I'm in, okay? And I appreciate that very much, anyone who does go out of their way to tip me. Now, not saying that cheering and subbing or Patreon or Teespring aren't also helpful. They absolutely are. And I don't want to look a gift horse in the mouth. I want to let you guys know I'm appreciative of anything that you guys do, but all of those things basically have processing time, while the tips I get right away and I can put it towards this issue immediately, all right? So please, if at all you can, please tip me today. That is the preferred method of support. There's 2 ways you can tip me. If you look below the stream, there's a tips jar button that you can click on, or you can type !tip into the stream chat to bring up a link. Each way will bring you to my PayPal tips page. A couple things about tipping you may not have known. First of all, you don't need a PayPal account to tip me. It's just like doing anything else on the internet with a credit or debit card. There's a link right there on the PayPal page that says click here without a, you know, to you know, pledge or to tip without a PayPal account. All right, you can do that. It's not a hassle where you have to set up an account or anything like that. In addition to that, you don't have to give out your identity. Wow, that's right, because some people are worried. They're like, man, if I support a streamer, what's to stop someone from trying to harass me? Because they're going to say, oh, you supported a streamer and blah, blah, blah. You don't have to use your real name or anything. You can make up a name. You can be anonymous. You know, this is something that you don't really have to worry about because there's safeguards in place for those who may be worried about that kind of stuff, okay? So please consider tipping me. I really need the help. As you guys can see, I have a tips goal that I've set up for every stream at this point, where if I could raise that much during the stream, that's going to help out tremendously. I kind of estimated, I said, well, if you know, every stream I'm able to raise that much, I should be all right. But, you know, I'm not going to, I know I'm a realist. I'm not going to raise that every stream, you know. It's a pretty lofty goal to be able to hit that every single stream that I do. So thanks to anyone who does contribute today. In particular, thanks to those who tip. That helps me more than anything. So thank you, and once again, thank you. Alrighty then. I think I've covered everything at this point. Okay. Let's see here. Alrighty, so, ladies and gentlemen, let's get to shoutouts. This is the segment of the pre-stream, the final segment of the pre-stream, by the way, where I give shout-out credit to those who have contributed, and then we get rolling into the gameplay. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's do it. So first off, we start off with BNES, who subscribed to the channel overnight. Thank you, BNES, for the sub overnight. Johnny Skidmarks cheered overnight and asked, would I have still moved to Washington State in 2014 if I were a bachelor? Well, funny question, but let me give you a little bit of background. I lived in my Connecticut my entire life until I moved to Washington in 2014. I hated Connecticut. All right, there's various reasons why, both personal and business-wise. Personal, the weather there I absolutely hate. You get the worst weather extremes, including the hottest summers with humidity and hurricanes and shit. Then you get cold, frigid winters with ice and tons of snow. And being that I had a back injury, it wasn't very accommodating for my back. In fact, half the year my back would be all messed up because of the weather changing and me having to shovel snow and stuff with a bad back, all right? In addition, living in Connecticut was incredibly expensive. Why? Really no practical reason. The real reason is because there's a ton of rich people who live in Connecticut in a very small area, and because they're all billionaires, they racked up the per capita income of the state, meaning all of our tax brackets there were incredibly high. You went to buy something, sales tax was high. There was a state income tax that was high. There was a gas tax that was high. There were tolls on all the roads. Like, it was insane how expensive it was to live in Connecticut, because outside of that, there were really no benefits. It wasn't like you were reaping tons of benefits because you lived in Connecticut. It was just incredibly fucking expensive because a bunch of rich people lived there in a tiny area. So, it was terrible. It was like, not only is this place shitty weather, but everything's super expensive for no reason. You're not getting anything out of paying all this money out of your ass. So my whole life I wanted to live outside of Connecticut. I wanted to get the hell out of there. And when I always had the intention that once I felt like I could afford it, I wanted to get the hell out of Connecticut. Now, it just so happened that in 2014, it was kind of the culmination of me having a few successful years on YouTube, having some money saved up to be able to move out of there. And essentially saying it's now or never, because I didn't know what was going to happen with YouTube. Was I going to continue to be as popular as I was? Was I going to continue to make as much money as I did? Or was this a situation where it was only a temporary thing, so let me do this now while I can do it, right? And essentially, it's true. It's what happened. That's exactly what happened, is I got out of there at the right time, because if I hadn't, I might have been stuck there for the rest of my life, which I would have been absolutely miserable. And quite frankly, for things like right now, if I wanted to be a full-time live streamer back where I lived in Connecticut, it wouldn't have happened. The internet there was so shitty. Half the time, the internet was fluctuating and not consistent. It just was not good. All right, it was really shit. And, you know, I'm happy now that I live in a place where I'm able to do what I love. I'm able to do full-time streaming with great quality internet and everything. You know, and it doesn't really affect me negatively. So, yeah, that's the bottom line. Now, did I have to move to Washington State? No, but Washington State was obviously a prime candidate. One of the reasons is my aunt had lived here for a large portion of her life. And she had always told us that the weather here is much better than people make it out to be. The people out here, much nicer. In general, just everything out here is a lot nicer. You know, it's beautiful, and you can have everything you want within your reach. Fresh air. You know, and then when I did some research and I found out that there's no state income tax here, right off the bat, that was going to be a big benefit. Plus, internet out here tends to be a lot better than it was in Connecticut, because this is a more tech-savvy part of the country, living right outside of Seattle. Also, the fact that I kind of had a feeling that I wasn't going to be an internet content creator for my entire life, and that eventually I was going to want to delve into something else. And I know for a fact there's a lot of things around here. There's Boeing, so aeronautics, and which I have a history in because I worked for a helicopter company for 5 years. There's Microsoft. There's a lot of other tech companies and game development companies. There's actually game media out here. There's a lot of things to do with video games and the like. So, you know, if I couldn't be a full-time content creator, potentially I could try to seek out other employment that maybe is in the same kind of sector. You know what I mean? All these were factors when I was looking at places to live. You know, there were other places like Florida, Texas. These are all places that are great for businesses, like if you own your own business, but the weather's bad. There really isn't a lot of great employment in those places outside of, you know, me being able to do, like, being a content creator. There wasn't a lot more there. So there's just a ton of factors. Now, would I have 100% moved to Washington if the situation wasn't what it was in 2014? I have no idea. I honestly don't know. It's a what-if scenario. And, you know, I can't go back in time and change my life to say what would have happened. I can tell you this. One thing is I probably wouldn't have gotten, you know, a house as big as the one that I got if I was by myself. That would be kind of silly. I don't need it, right? But I'm kind of happy that I did, because it's funny. You know what they say? They say some things happen for a reason. And I'm certainly not a superstitious person. I'm not. But it's funny how in my life things tend to work out long term, even when things get fucked up. Because, you know, this house is perfect for my family. It really is. Like, Kat and I absolutely make use of all the different parts of the house. Now we have Jasper with us, and he loves this house. Are you kidding? He's like, this is a perfect cat house for him. Every windowsill is huge, and he loves to just, hang out not hang out the windows, but look out the windows constantly. Tons of space for him to run around and have fun. There's a nook upstairs that he now uses as his kind of like a play area. Essentially, this house is absolutely perfect for us. And, situation what it would have probably been is I would have been living in a smaller apartment for years until finally I had a need to get a bigger house. But here's the thing, more than likely I probably wouldn't have been able to get it, because with the money drying up on YouTube and everything the way that it did, I probably never would have been able to qualify to get a house like this. So again, even though I'm in a bad situation financially now, really things worked out for the better in my opinion. Like, if things didn't happen the way they did, I probably would have ended up getting stuck somewhere where I'm like, damn, kind of a similar situation in Connecticut. Because if you remember, the reason that I bought that condo in Connecticut was because I wanted to move out of my parents' house and get closer to my job. Then within a year of moving, my job lays me off. So, I might have been in a situation where, okay, I'm moving to Florida, I'm moving to Texas, I'm moving to another state that's better weather, lower taxes, get an apartment, and then, now I want to set up a nice house or get a life for myself and my, and cat and everything, and I can't do it, right? So it's actually worked out that this place, I had this place, and it was kind of like set up for us to set up our life together. It worked out well, okay? So, can't answer that 100%, Johnny Skinmarks. As always, as they say, hindsight is 20/20. There's no way to know, because I don't know what my situation would have been if things were different back in 2014, right? Oh, hold on. Bottle crunch coming up, everybody. There you go. But I think that, in essence, it worked out for the best. Like I keep telling you guys, my streaming is amazing. I absolutely love streaming. The streams are great. It's the best work I've ever done in my life. Like, I really enjoy coming to work. My personal life is good. My wife and I have a great life here together. Our Jasper is an amazing pet. It's the fucking other behind the scenes shit that affects us negatively. And if I could find a way to get past that stuff, and maintain what I have here, life would be great. And that's what I'm hoping for. Okay? Unlimited Froggins cheered overnight and says, would you ever stream Minecraft as a day stream, with it being exclusively at night? A lot of viewers who can only tune into the day streams are missing out on participating in top contribution battles. Maybe you could do Minecraft as a day stream once a month at the beginning of the month to help pay early month bills until the Twitch payment comes up. First of all, Unlimited Froggins, actually, that's not a bad idea. I want to say thanks, because obviously there are people out there who care about me and brainstorm about ways to help me out. Especially months like this month where things are awful early on in the month, and people are trying to brainstorm ways to help, and I appreciate that a lot. I do. Okay, I understand you're actually trying to think of ways to help. And you're absolutely right. I do feel that if maybe I did a Minecraft stream as an earlier day stream, you would get a different audience, and that audience may want to try to contribute, because when I do my Minecraft streams, the way it works is the top contributor of that stream will get something created in the world based on their wishes, and usually we have like a sign or something on it that has a quote or something that they wanted to say. And in the last month to month and a half that we've done this, boy, the variety of stuff that we've had. We had a cat named after someone, a building named a certain thing that was pretty silly. We've had signs placed on top of a giant lighthouse, quotes to Ozymandias. We've had a gravestone built atop a cliffside with a quote on it. We've had a villager named after someone. I'm trying to think, but like there was more than that too earlier on. We've done a big variety of stuff. Okay, we've done a big variety of stuff when it comes to that. And every single time that I play Minecraft, at the end of the stream, we have this competition where people want to be the top contributor to get something in my game world, created in their honor. And I do feel that if I did this as an earlier stream, yes, you would maybe get a different audience who would do that. But, and here's the big but, okay? The bottom line is, here's another saying that a mannerism that I say all the time. The bottom line is, I don't feel that Minecraft can support a 4+ hour stream. All right? I think the reason that Minecraft works, and the reason that I've been able to successfully play it for over 10 months now. That's right. I started in December of 2018, and I'm still playing it pretty much on a weekly basis here in September of 2019. The reason is because it's a 2-hour stream once a week. If I played it more than that, I don't think that it would support attention. I think people would get tired of it. Quite frankly, I think I would get bored of it if I played it more than that. I like it for variety on my streams, that once a week we sit down in Minecraft, we do silly stuff, we build silly things, we talk and have fun discussions. It works as a chill stream because of that. But if I were doing it for 4+ hours, I think what would happen is I would struggle to find things to fill 4 hours of content without getting bored. And because of that, I don't think it would work. If anything, you know, maybe what we would do is have a daytime stream that's split. So half the stream is Minecraft and half the stream is something else. So that way it's variety and it's not me getting burnt out on Minecraft. I really am serious that if I played it for 4 hours, I would get bored. I just know I would. There's some weeks now where we've struggled to have things to do for the full 2 hours. Okay? So I'm not ruling it out. I'm not saying, no, I will never do Minecraft as an early stream. All right? What I am saying is, if I do it, I think what I need to do is not do it for 4 hours. Maybe, okay, for early on this month, we're having our early chill stream day, where we're going to have Minecraft, and we're going to split that up with something else, whether it's Black Ops or Blackout. Of course, that's not going to be around for forever. Maybe it's Street Fighter. Maybe it's something different, you see. So that way, at least we're getting variety, and it's not getting completely burnt out on Minecraft. But you're right. Maybe that would actually urge certain people to contribute that maybe have not contributed to the Minecraft streams yet because they haven't been around for them, right? So, good suggestion, Omnipotent Froggins. Let's see what happens. Maybe early October we can test this out just once. Maybe in early October we can have one day where we'll do that and see what happens. And if it works, great. And if it doesn't, oh well, it was one experiment and it didn't work, so let's not do it anymore. We'll just do it as a chill stream at night from now on, right? Okay, so thank you for the suggestion. All right, so now we move on to people who contributed during today's live stream. First, we start off with Last Rambo, who cheered and said, a Switch-exclusive new IP, Daemon X Machina, is coming out this Friday, a third-person action game. Yeah. Once again, another anime-style game, another Switch-exclusive. What is it with Switch-exclusives are all anime-style games? You guys notice that? Like, seriously, haven't there been, like, 3 of these in the last month? Not even exaggerating, and I'm not, by the way, I'm not talking shit about the games. Like, everyone says Astral Chain is an exceptionally good game. But what is it with all these anime-exclusive games coming out, Switch exclusives? Like, it's very odd. Alright, I just don't get it. It's kind of confusing. But I don't really care about Daemon X Machina. In fact, almost no one's asked me for it. Let me put it this way. Way more people have asked me for Borderlands 3 than Daemon X Machina. Okay? Far more people have asked me for Astral Chain than Daemon X Machina. So, I really don't think that Daemon X Machina is on my radar. The next game that I want to play, if I can afford it, is Borderlands 3. And, you know, great if I can. But if I can't, you know, this is the last thing on my mind is Daemon X Machina, essentially. You know? So, alright, continuing on. An anonymous dollar tip. This is when Jasper gets off you, does he leave you covered in cat fur? Not really. I'm not saying that he doesn't shed, because he does, but not a lot. In fact, really, the most that he sheds is when we brush him. You know, we have a cat brush, and he does shed a lot when we use the cat brush, but in general, he actually doesn't really shed that much. In fact, as I've told you guys, he sleeps with us in bed, and, well, on the bed, and on the sheets that he lays on, typically there's a lot of hair there, but it's not like, oh my god, a giant pile, like someone lost their fucking toupee or something. He's a mid hair cat. Like, he's not a super short hair cat, but he's not a long hair cat. It's kind of like mid. So he doesn't have a ton of sheddage. You know, it's not like he's one of these super fluffy cats that they sit down and it looks like, you know, someone dropped a mop on the floor or something. It's not like that. So, no, he's not that kind of cat. Last Rambo cheered again. He said, seeing you use the X1, I guess Xbox One, is a breath of fresh air as you play almost all the multi-platform games on PS4. You're right. And essentially, you know, when last console generation, okay, excuse me, last console generation, I primarily used the Xbox 360 for everything. And every once in a while, I would rev up the PS3. I would say, with certainty, I used my PS3 way more than I've used my Xbox One. Because the PS3 had a lot of great console exclusives, while the Xbox One has had almost none. I'm sorry, you can argue with me, but most of the Xbox One exclusives, in my opinion, have not been great games, and have not been a reason to even boot up the console. Alright? I guess Gears 5 is going to be one of those rare exceptions, okay, where it's actually a pretty good game that's an Xbox One exclusive. Of course, you can play it on PC as well, but, you know, when it comes to consoles, you can only play it on Xbox One, okay? So, that being said, yes, it is actually kind of refreshing to be using the Xbox One. In fact, I actually said this at the launch of the Xbox and PS4. I like the Xbox One controller way more than the PS4 controller. I really do. It's more comfortable for my hands. It feels far more natural. And, you know, in reality, some games that I actually play on the PS3 at length, sometimes my hands hurt after doing like a gameplay session. While I've never had that experience with anything on the Xbox One, because I love the controller. So it's actually cool. It's refreshing to finally be using this console that essentially I bought at launch and has been sitting around collecting dust for years and years. Every once in a while we play something and usually it's not anything great. Finally, with Gears, Grand Theft Auto, like we're playing a bunch of good stuff on it. So there you go. Okay, let's see here. All right, Knows Nobody did a 100-bit cheer. That makes Knows Nobody the top cheerer so far for today. And he says, Dreamcast 20th anniversary is today. Any good memories with the console? See, here's the thing. The Dreamcast is a great console, and the Dreamcast had quite a lot of great games on it. And it was very revolutionary for the time. The Dreamcast was the first console that had like a robust memory card that had tons of storage on it. And actually the files could be transferred like back and forth from your PC, which a lot of people did, and they would share their save files over the internet, which was kind of unique. You couldn't really do that with other consoles at the time. And the controller was an interesting controller for sure. The graphical capabilities of the Dreamcast were very, very advanced. In fact, I would say the Dreamcast was the first console, all right? You can quote me on this. The Dreamcast was the first console that actually caught up with video game arcades. And what I mean to say is, up until that time period, before the Dreamcast was released 20 years ago, which was 1999, right? Most of the time when you went to a video arcade and you played games on the cabinets, they would have better graphical performance than what you could play at home on a console. Even games that got ported, like there were Street Fighter games that got ported to PlayStation 1 and everything, they weren't as good as what you would play in the arcade. The arcade still was the superior version of those games. But it was actually the Dreamcast era where they took games that were very popular in arcades and turned them into home versions that were just as good. Crazy Taxi, all right? A really zany driving game where you would go crazy driving around trying to do taxi fares in a certain amount of time. Race against time to complete your fares and stuff. Really awesome looking game in the arcades, and then they ported it to Dreamcast, and it looked exactly the same. Like, it ran and performed the same as when you played it on the cabinet. Street Fighter in particular saw a big, boost when it came to being able to finally play it at home on consoles, and the Dreamcast actually became the tournament standard for competitive Street Fighter for many, many years. It wasn't actually until much later on when they had versions of the Street Fighter games for PlayStation 2 that those became the tournament standard. But for the longest time, it was Marvel vs. Capcom 2, Capcom vs. SNK 2, and Street Fighter 3 Third Strike all had their definitive versions on the Sega Dreamcast. Um, and these were every person who I knew who was into Street Fighter owned at least 1 or 2 Dreamcast consoles and would have multiple setups. You could go to people's houses, they have multiple setups. You could play various Street Fighter games on these consoles. Everyone had Dreamcast controllers, or they had Dreamcast joysticks, or they bought an adapter so that they could buy an expensive joystick and then use it on the Dreamcast. And I hate to say it, but the Dreamcast also was huge for piracy. Like, the Dreamcast was really the first console where piracy was a major, major issue, because people found a way to rip the data off the game discs and put those files out on the internet, and you could just burn any game. So many people who had the Dreamcast didn't even buy games. They just burnt all their fucking games for free, and that was one of the major reasons why the Dreamcast overall was a failure. Because even though the console had these really cool original ideas with the memory card and everything, and had amazing graphics, people could just get the games for free, and no one actually fucking bought any games for the damn thing. So, the Dreamcast, a lot of people say the Dreamcast was ahead of its time. I tend to agree. It definitely had the best, absolutely the best graphics and graphical capabilities of that time frame of the late 90s, and kind of blew away everything else. But because everyone could get the games for free, it never made any money. And that's what kind of killed it. So, yeah, I love the Dreamcast. For me, did I play some games on it outside of Street Fighter? Yeah, like I said, Crazy Taxi, Sonic Adventure, and a few others. I can't necessarily remember them all right now. I remember playing Power Stone, but in particular for me, it was all about Street Fighter. It was, man, this is the console that I can play almost arcade perfect versions of all of my favorite Street Fighter games, and we can hold tournaments in them that are legitimately competitive because the games play just like their arcade counterparts. It was the first time that it ever happened. Like I said, SNES, I owned Street Fighter, and it ran nothing like the arcade. There were PS1 versions of Street Fighter that ran nothing like the arcade. So this was the first time that you could play Street Fighter at home and not have to go to an arcade and sink tons of money every time you wanted to play it on an arcade cabinet, okay? And it really did open up the tournament scene, because if it weren't for the Dreamcast, people would still have had to be playing on arcade cabinets, which was very costly to get cabinets into a venue and everything. It really blew things apart, because all you need to do was have some consoles and you could throw yourself a tournament. So, pretty awesome. The Dreamcast will always hold a place in my heart. It was an era of gaming for me, those late 90s, early 2000s. The Dreamcast era, as they say. Alright. Continuing on, Caveman cheered 100 bits and used the Subway cheer button and said nom nom noms, probably to simulate eating a Subway sandwich. Thank you, Captain Caveman. I am the Toastmaster. Did a 50-bit cheer and says, I'm allergic to gluten, so I can't use the sandwich emote, but here's 50 bits for Gatorade. Alrighty then. Thank you for the cheer. Then he cheered again. He says, here's a big old tip for you, Philly Cheese Stream. God damn, I want to... Alright, enough of this. Captain Caveman did another 100-bit cheer and says, with all the business pros know that you are to go into the red as much as you can while stashing away cash. Then you file for bankruptcy one time allowed only. What on earth are you talking about, and what the hell does that mean? I have no idea. Anyway, let's continue on. The Last Rambo did a 50-bit cheer. He says, oh, come on, Triple H and the McMahons are from Connecticut. Well, I believe Vince McMahon is. No one else is. Triple H is Canadian. Oh, yeah, Triple H is Canadian. His first character was Terra Rising. Terra Rising. What a name. That was before he ever became Hunter Hearst Helmsley, who was supposed to be from Greenwich, Connecticut. And by the way, previously on this pre-stream, I mentioned the rich people in Connecticut. Greenwich, Connecticut is where they live. That's why the fucking per capita income and the taxes in Connecticut is so high. So, continuing on, Hamburg with grease. Tip me $1. He says, wow, it's insulting. Okay, it's insulting. Never mind. Thanks for the tip. Super Juice tipped me $1. And I don't even know what he's talking about. It sounds like it's insulting. Great. So anyway, thanks for the $1 tips. Appreciate it. See here. Philly Buckeye did a 50-bit cheers. A State of Decay 2 and Sea of Thieves were great exclusives. What are you talking about? Kappa Faye. Exactly. The games that were hyped up to be the big console exclusives for the Xbox One ended up being humongous duds and flops. State of Decay 2, oh my god, that game was so inferior to the first game. So fucking boring to play. Sea of Thieves, you could see everything in the game within like 6 hours. This is supposed to be an ongoing MMO co-op game, and you could see everything in the game in 6 hours. What a fucking joke, quite frankly. But yeah, like, that's the problem. This console generation, it's been few and far between when you actually get a good Xbox One game that was worth playing, exclusively on the Xbox. So, alright, what we're going to do now is we are going to give a shout out to those who cheered so far this week. There's not going to be that many because it just reset overnight, but I feel that we should give credit. And then, since it looks like, contributions have slowed down, I guess we're going to get started with GTA. So, shout out to the following cheerers. In 7th place, Philly Buckeye, tied with Omnipotent Froggins, tied with Johnny Skidmarks. Triple tie. In 4th place, I Am the Towmaster. 3rd place is Knows Nobody. 2nd place, The Last Rambo. And 1st place, Captain Caveman. Alright, so thank you, you guys who contributed via cheering. I appreciate that. Reminder, everyone, the best way to help me today is by tipping me. Contributions, obviously, on this pre-stream have been very slow and low. Hopefully, things will pick up so people will join for GTA 4. And, please, if you can at all, and you want to be supportive, please tip me. I need the help. I do. To get out of this financial situation. And so tips are helping me way more than anything else right now. Okay? Okay, fair enough. Alright, everybody. So, that is it for the pre-stream, I guess. Oh, hold on a second. Hold on 1 second. Actually, hold on a second anyway. My phone just vibrated. Hold on. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. It loaded like a ridiculous amount of emails. Jesus Christ. Sometimes the email server for the iPhone gets like massively backlogged, and then all of a sudden my phone will vibrate, and I'll look, and there'll be like 40, 50 emails that pop in. I just got to make sure there's nothing important there. Indeed, there's nothing important there. All right, so let's continue. Shout out to Silas Darko, who did a 300-bit cheer and says, no triple ties allowed. Well, thank you, Silas Darko. That makes you not only the top cheerer of the day, that puts you into the top cheering spot of the week. Because it just started. So thank you for that, Silas. It's a 300-bit cheer. And, of course, he used the Subway cheer mode, which helps me out and gives me bonus bits. So thank you for that as well. Impact tipped me $1 and says, Xbox exclusives might be light this gen, but Game Pass and BC for 360 and OG Xbox made it worth it in my eyes. That's a fair point, I guess we should say, is that Game Pass is not very expensive. It's not. It's just not very expensive. And it gets you access to a ton of stuff, right? Game Pass gets you access to a lot of the Xbox One exclusives at launch, including Gears. It gets you access to a ton of Xbox 360 games from past years. So it's funny because if you remember last console gen, the big controversy was that the PlayStation 3 originally had backwards compatibility with PS2, and then they removed it. And it was a big pain in the ass. Why did some people get it, some people didn't, and people were pissed at it. Xbox One has had a lot of backwards compatibility. I think it is fair to say, to call that out and say, yes, you're right. The Xbox One has done a lot of things right in the long term. At launch, the Xbox One failed miserably. In the long term, I feel the Xbox One has done a lot right, and that backwards compatibility is something that I've gone back to again and again and again over the couple of years, the last few years, I would say. Whenever I'm going to do a retro playthrough, I see, is it available on Xbox One and backwards compatible? And if it is, I usually play it that way. So fair enough. That is a fair enough assessment, and I agree with you, Impact. Thank you. That was actually a pretty insightful one. The Detractor Factor tipped me $5 and says, we want to see your tax returns along with all of your bank statements and credit reports. Okay, sounds good. I'm sure you do. Thank you for the $5 tip. You're the top tipper of the day. And let me go ahead and update the total tips to $9 now. Thank you. Sambuca 2020 did a 300-bit cheer. It says, okay, only a two-way tie. So right now, technically, Sambuca and Silas Darko are tied not only for top cheer of the day, but also top cheerer of the week, which is kind of funny. So there you go. There is a tie. There is no definitive leader right now. Oh, no. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I guess that is it for the pre-stream. Thank you. Let's end the pre-stream and let us get ready for some fun GTA stuff. What do you guys think? You ready for some? Oh, hold on. Silas Darko now did a 100-bit cheer. Said F that. So that makes Silas Darko the top cheerer of the week. He already is still the top cheerer of the day because it was a tie, but now he's the top cheerer of the week again as well. Thank you, Silas. Okay, good stuff. Are we ready for GTA? I hope so. All right, guys. Thank you, and let's begin.